To je docela to tam valí teda. Jo. A tak kdy začneme teda? Okay. Hello there. I hope we just started. There's a delay. Welcome here. It seems that we have like 4,000 people, which is nice. We spent last 3 hours fixing our streaming device, which broke after just 1 week of using it for the press. And this is my first broadcast as well. So be nice to me, because I I don't have a clue how to do it. I'm not very experienced in it. But anyway, what we are going to show you is the build we showed to the publishers, which is the first quest in early in the game, and shows all the core mechanics.
Glory be, I thought I'd never rouse you. Bad dreams again?
Most likely. I remember naught of them.
You still have a fever. Uncle won't be glad to hear it, but you'll have to stay in bed yet.
Where am I? In Skalitz?
No, Skalitz is no longer, Hal. They torched it and laid it waste along with the castle. We're in my uncle's mill in Rattais. I knew not where else to go, and he took us in.
What has befallen?
Have you truly no recall? Forsooth, little wonder. You were in a woeful state. I found you in Skalitz after those footpads assailed you. I feared the worst, but you were breathing yet. What were you thinking of? Only a madman would go back there. They butchered everyone who didn't flee.
My parents. I sought my parents. I wanted to bury them. I had to.
Fear thee not. I took care of it.
Gramercy, I am in thy debt.
Think nothing of it. No Christian would leave them thus. But rest now and regain thy strength. A sweet.
Never have I.
The one.
So I will skip the rest of the cutscene. Several things about this build. This build is quite old. It's almost over half year old. It's the same build that we showed to the publishers and press. We are using it because it's the most stable build. We have a lot of new features in newer build, but they are not 100% working all the time. So it would be quite buggy. At the same time, it runs on for the same reason. It runs on the older version of CryEngine. So some things like PBR or several other features are not working. And just a general reminder: some assets and mostly animations are going to be much better. So right now there are no facial animations motion captured, and they are going to be motion captured. The faces of the characters are also just placeholders right now. We are still working on it. We'll probably be 3D scanning the heads, and a lot of other details are just work in progress right now. This quest was, or this build was done to showcase our ability to develop the open world RPG to the publishers. So it includes all the core mechanics. The quest itself is very simple. It's also at the beginning of the game, so you need to collect some stuff and start with first small quest. But most of the core stuff is already implemented, including the first version of combat. So right now, as you can see, I see my body. When I interact with stuff, I really pick up objects or push items, open the door and stuff. So it's first person, but it's not floating camera. All the time you see your character, and when you do
have you eaten?
cutscene, you see your or branching dialogues, you see your character as well.
Right, this is very good. Did you bake it?
I did.
What did you do in Skalitz? Why did you not flee with the others?
I couldn't make it to the castle, so I hid in the mill. I saw them slaughter my parents, the pagan curs. By the time I dared to creep out, everyone was gone. Then I heard a cry and saw the thieves assail you. I waited till they left and took care of you.
Grand mercy, you're braver than many a man to do so. I must
So
leave.
basically,
Then
this
fare thee
quest
well,
is about
mind thyself.
early in the game. Your hometown was burned down by invading army, and you were saved by this girl. She took you to a mill next to the closest town, and your neighbors or people from your town who managed to survive escaped to the castle up the hill, were given protection from another lord. So now your liege lord and your friends are hiding in behind the walls of the city and the castle. Right now you are saved. You are back healthy again, and you are going to see your liege lord to tell him that you are back in his service. If you remember our first video update about the world and locations, this is the same castle we showed you in real world. So you can see that we already built quite a large piece of the world. There is right now no music. We didn't license all the music we use as a placeholder stuff, which was awesome by the way, but we cannot play it because we didn't license it. You can see the NPC some basic NPC routines and life. Right now it's in the latest build it's much better. And here you will see the first one of the first
who goes
game
there?
mechanics, branching dialogues.
Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith. I'm going to see my master, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And I'm the Pope and my left foot is a hoof. Why do you want him and why would I let you near him?
I brought his sword and I must speak with him.
But I see no sword.
They assaulted me and took it.
Then you no longer need to see him. In your shoes, I'd run the other way. Your master won't be happy you lost his sword.
So we have a branching dialogues in the game, which is quite normal. But what's a little bit different is that there are points of no return where you need to decide what you will tell to the other characters. So
let me go to
here
my
I
master,
can threaten
or
the
he'll
guy
hear
that
of
I
your
will tell it to
insolence.
my master.
Ah, telltale. Run along then. I relish seeing them drive you out with a cat and nine tails.
So in branching dialogues I have a lot of choices and I cannot take back what I say. Most of the time when there are some decisions to be made and you choose something, you cannot take it back, you cannot try the other option. So it works as you would as a combat, for example. If you attack someone, he will be your enemy. If you kill someone, he will disappear from the game. If you say something wrong, it will also change your relationship with the character, and you cannot take it back. Right now, you can see the same castle from the video update, and we are going to see our liege lord, who is given. Who was given this? There are two castles in this town, and one was given to your liege lord from his friend, another lord, as a refuge since his castle was destroyed. Around me there is a refugee camp from my hometown, so these people are my original neighbors. And by the way, all the dialogues are just temporary. We used mostly British expats who live in Czech Republic, so no. It's going to be really different. Right now, what we experimented with the language a little bit, so we kind of tried a little bit of
Well, if it isn't
Shakespearean
Hal, the
language.
blacksmith's boy.
Well, I never. 'Tis so. What are you doing here? We thought you were done for.
I was waylaid by footpads in Skalitz.
God's teeth! Why did you go back? Who do you think you'd find there, save cutthroats and thieves?
I wanted to bury my parents.
Ah, well, fair due. I heard what your father did at the gate.
He saved my life.
Not only yours. He was a good man. You did well to bury him.
In the end, it wasn't I who did it. Nor did I help him at the gate.
Well, what could you have done? You'd both be dead now. He did it for you, so live to make him proud, as if he were alive.
Indeed? What are you here for, then?
It's a long story. I must see Sir Radzig. Is he here?
Tell us about it anon, then. Gul Kobila's in the palace with Lord Johan, Burgrave of Rat Eyes. They're feasting in a knight's hall.
Thanks.
So the language again. We were experimenting with the different kinds of accents, and we tried to use kind of period Shakespearean language. But right now it seems quite a little bit too much. So we will work on this a little bit. In the final game, it will be probably more contemporary. Contemporary, is it the right word? More current. And this is the castle where my liege lord is living right now, so I'm going to introduce myself and I'm back in his service. I'll probably skip part of
What
the
dost
cutscene
thou
because it's very
want?
long.
There's naught here for thee. Be gone, stable
Stand
boy.
down, Sighard.
'Tis Henry. How did you get here, Hal? I thought I'd seen the last of you.
God save you, sir. I had to return to Skalitz to bury my parents.
Well, it was not mayhap the wisest course, but I understand. Your father was a good man, and your mother... 'Twas dastardly what Sigismund's barbarians did to them. You did right to spare them from the dogs and ravens.
It was not I who buried them in the end, sir. Before I could, footpads set upon and near killed me. I wouldn't be here if someone hadn't helped me.
And who is this good Samaritan?
The miller's daughter.
The miller's daughter overcame the footpads who almost killed you? Well, I never.
No, sir. She waited till they left, buried my parents and took me to Rat Eyes.
Now that's a goodly wench. Hold on to that one, lad.
'Tis a shame, though, that your parents lie in unhallowed ground. You know that means a purgatory awaits them.
Quiet, Pope's nose. I didn't bring you here to stuff your chops while spouting sermons.
If 'tis such worry, worthy father, mayhap you should go at once to Skalitz and save those goodly Christians' immaculate souls by consecrating their graves. I'm sure that should the footpads waylay you like Henry and murder you, your soul would speak to heaven. And I assure you, we would bury you only in holy ground.
Sure. If we could even find the carcass, the dogs and ravens would soon devour such a swag belly as yourself. And how then would we tell the Christian bones from those of Sigismund's Tartars? One bone is like another.
What now, Henry? Is there somewhere you can go?
I must recover your sword.
My sword? My sword is here at my belt.
Father made you a new one. The footpads stole it, and now I have to get it back.
They nearly killed him at once he would go back. Now, I'm not sure if he's a fool or if I like him. But the lad has courage, Radzig, surely.
So I will skip the rest of the cutscene. Basically, what happens is that some bandits attacked the nearby stables and hamstrung horses. So your lord sends you there with his men to investigate what happened. But since you are quite poor guy, he gave you some money to buy some armor and get a sword from the local blacksmith, and then you will have to go to see his men and ride with them to the stables. As I said before, the facial animation, facial hair, and the character heads are just temporary. Right now they look, in the newer builds they look much better, and we are still improving the technology. this is old version of the engine. The hair and the animations are just not up to the level we plan to achieve. This is right now we are in town of Ratais. It's the town we showed you in the video update. It's one of the biggest locations in the game. It's actual city that exists today. The lower castle we just been to is still there. The upper castle is replaced, or was replaced by a chateau which is quite destroyed right now. We showed it to you when we were in his dungeons. These guys are just training here. All the buildings, everything is there. We try to reconstruct to as much detail and authenticity as possible. So we consulted historians. Every building should be, well, in most of the cases we don't know which buildings were there, but at least architecturally they should be historically accurate and look as close to the real world as possible. Right now my goal is to go to the shopkeeper, merchant, to buy a gambeson and helmet. You can see we have a map of the town. It's already working. You can see the checkpoints I need to go. The merchant is right here. Of course,
Greetings, young man.
interiors will look much better with PBR lighting, but I would say they are quite nice even now. And
Greetings,
now I can
young man.
show
What
you
do you
the
wish?
shopping. The animation which you will see right now is not
God save you,
final as
young
well.
master. How may I serve you? From your attire, I reckon you'll need most everything, if you have enough money for it. If so, I can offer you the best goods in these parts.
So this is our shop. I need to buy iron head and gambeson as a basic armor. Right now I can show something about our inventory and clothing system. So you can see that we have different categories of items. Here you can see all the items: weapons, armor, food, quest items, others, and other items. I need to buy iron head and gambeson. I can sell stuff as well. And here there's a checkout. I will, like in online shop, and I can buy
May our goods
stuff.
serve you well.
So I can review what I've purchased before I pay for it. You can see on the character that while I'm scrolling through the items, I see how will it look when I will use the object. And we have 16 different equipable slots on every character, plus 4 slots for weapons and 2 for the rings or some jewelry. There are 4 layers, so right now on the right upper corner you can see that we have 4 layers on the body. We have 4 layers on for the legs, 3 layers and some necklace on the head, and you really can see if I remove something, you can really see that it's changed. I can use. You can really see that the objects are layering over each other, which is something that wasn't done before, I would say. It's very complicated, and it's exactly the stuff we are going most likely to share with Star Citizen guys. They want to use it in their game. I don't know if for characters, because this could be applied even to spaceships. So we will share this technology with Star Citizen. Now I have some basic armor, and I will go to see a blacksmith and ask him to give me a sword as my lord ordered him to do. But meanwhile I can walk around the city and show you some details of the graphics. we in our video update about AI and the living world, we said that every character will have its daily routines, which is right. So every building will have its inhabitants. Every character, every NPC will have place to stay, a bed where he will sleep. Every character will have some job to do. So every field will be there will be some. To every field there will be some peasant working on it. Of course, we have animals. So we will have pups, and there are no loading. There is no loading. So when you enter the building, you just enter it. There is no loading like in some other games. I would say that this city is about the same size as most of the bigger cities in Skyrim, for example. And this is the upper castle, where your lord's soldiers are waiting for you, and blacksmith who will give me the sword.
God save you, lad. What do you seek?
I am in the service of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Your master, Sir Johann, sent me. He orders that you give me a sword, so that I can ride with his men against brigands.
Dost thou think I'd fall for such a jest?
So, another example of branching dialogues. We mentioned that there is going to be a bard. It's not a class, but you can play as a bard, so you can talk yourself out of troubles. You will be able to collect stories and tell them to people. And here is one example where you can use your speech skill. So you have a speech skill. You can be very strong and powerful and dangerous looking guy. So you can either threaten the guy or be nice to him or try to convince him otherwise. So I can tell him to give me the sword now, threaten him. If I'm strong enough or have nice armor and look like a warrior, he will probably give me it because he's going to be scared. I can kind of try to use my connections, or I can use my speech to and be nice to him to give me the sword. So
Come now, the brigands have assailed Neuhof. Sir Radzig wants me to ride there with Sir Johann's men. For that, I need a weapon.
Very well. Mayhap we'll find something for you. But you'll have to give it back, or your master must pay.
And now I can even kind of bitch about the sword quality. It's not the best sword in the world. He is giving it to me for free, so it's not the best quality. And I can kind of thanks for it, or I can be angry and tell him that it's bad, which may not be that bad at all, because it can show my courage and gain me some respect from the character. So
you call this a
it
sword?
has some
Don't
other
look a
effect
gift horse in the
only
mouth.
making the guy angry.
Pay up, and I'll make you a sword, the likes of which you've never seen. And how would a stable boy like thee know what a sword looks like if he's never held one?
I'm the son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
Forsooth? Then why did you not go to him?
Because he's dead, and our forge burnt down.
Aha. Sorry, I forgot. Well, lad, if 'tis as you say, you may hone this sword and show me what your father taught you. Mayhap I'll have use for you when you work off the price of this one.
Gramercy.
And so now I have a sword, and it's not the best sword in the world. So I can show you one of our mini games, because I can work on the sword, make it better, sharpen it. Everything in the game is going to be crafting in the game is going to be done as a mini game. So when you can do something, you can really do it in a mini game. Here I can sharpen the sword. you can see that if I'm doing it right, the sword gets better. If I'm doing it wrong, the sword is going to get it's visible on the sword. You can do it yourself. You can pay the smithy to do it for you if you don't like it. But the thing is that, for example, we plan
I
to
see
have
you did not
proper
lie.
blacksmithing that
Good
will
work.
look like real blacksmithing. We will have mining, fishing, cooking, so it's going to be a little bit like cooking mama or something. We will have alchemy, so there is a lot of things to do other than doing the quest. You can collect herbs and then make some potions from them in our alchemy minigame. The alchemy is not going to be some magic stuff, it's going to be the real alchemy people believed in and used in the Middle Ages. So you can really make some potions or items to improve your health and stuff. And right now we are in the upper castle, and there are your lord's soldiers who are waiting for me with the horses. So I'm going to tell them I'm ready, and we will ride to the stables.
Well, then, can we set off? Are you ready?
Sorry.
We can set out, sir.
Very well.
Oops.
Get a mount in the stable there and ride after us. Do what the others do and try nothing till I tell
Nice
you.
blurry sky.
I know not what Sir Radzig sees in you.
I probably
Nor do I
don't
want
need
to
to
know.
remind you, this is still very early build. We still have like 2
Right,
years
men, stick close.
ahead of us.
God knows
so
what
a
awaits
lot
us.
of things are
Avaunt!
not final. For example, the animations of the horses, camera settings, as I said, faces, facial hair, and such things. So be a little bit forgiving. Right now we will ride through the countryside for some time. So this is a castle, upper castle, as you could saw it in the concept. And now you will see the countryside. It's quite large. We already built about 1/3 of the map, just to show the publishers our capability to make large world. So we are going to ride for about 1.5 kilometers to the stables. CryEngine is great for open world building. Its tools are quite great and easy to paint the world from assets. Most of this countryside was done by was designed or built by just one graphic artist in a few weeks. We are going to work on it, of course, even more. There is a lot of work to do still, but it's looking quite fine and was done very fast. We built several tools ourselves to improve some things. Little details like the roads are now the tool for making roads is better. The roads are looking better without tool and stuff. The total size of the map is going to be about 9 square kilometers. I am not sure, but I would say that it's very similar to the map of Oblivion. If you compare just the space, you can like the map of Oblivion is probably bigger, but when you remove the seas and the locations you cannot enter, I would say it's very close. But in our case, we try to have the countryside more natural looking. So there, everything's a little bit larger. Things are. The countryside is not as compressed. You really need to travel longer distances. I would say it's similar to, more similar to Red Dead Redemption in terms of density of events or quests or points of interest. And we would like to have that things are concentrated around some kind of hubs, cities, villages, where you will get quests and then complete the quest around one hub and then travel to another location. Of course, we will have a fast travel, of some form of fast travel, which will not be as easy.
By the hounds of Hades, what churls would do such devilry?
Zoons! What happened here? By all that's holy, what does this signify?
I know not, Corporal. Someone came at night and hamstrung them, killed a stable boy who awoke, and then torched the stables. They were still alive when I arrived, and I had to put them down. What monster does such things?
Did they steal anything? Take any horses?
Not one. It seems they came only to kill and vandalize.
Have you a quarrel with someone? Do you know of someone who would seek revenge?
No one. But even if I did have foes, Sblood, who would do such a thing to God's innocent creatures?
Folk are worse than beasts. Did you see anything? How many there were? Whither they went and what they looked like? Did you find anything they left behind?
The clamour and the smoke awoke us, but when we arrived they'd already gone. We had to quench the fire to stop the whole place going alight. We saw no one.
Did you search the area?
No, we were fighting the blaze till now, and anyway, everyone's afraid. What chance would they have against those who did this?
They're long gone. Hark, men. We must find out where they went. Mount up and search the area. Each in a different direction. Ask folk if they saw anything, search for traces. Someone must have caught sight of them at least.
At once, sir.
And I, sir?
You? What the devil can I do with you? Stay here.
I could look around and see if they left any traces. Mayhap they went by that breached gate.
As you will, then. Look in the woods beyond that gate and then report back.
So, this quest kind of starts a much bigger quest line where I'm going to search for bandits who did it. Nobody knows why they did it. They just hamstrung the horses. They didn't kill people. They didn't steal the horses. They didn't steal anything. So nobody knows. It seems crazy, and the value of the horse was probably bigger than the value of a human. So it's quite weird, and it did a lot of damage to your lord. Horses were very expensive, especially well-trained horses. So this starts a bigger quest line where you are going to search for the bandits. You will be acting kind of like medieval investigators, so you will interrogate people, try to find clues. You can threaten people, search for somebody who saw something. Similar things will happen in other villages and towns, so it's kind of a bigger, much bigger event, and in the end, when you will find out who did it, you will realize that they are much stronger than you expected, and you will have to have some allies to fight with them. So it's a very big quest line. Now I was sent to the forest to follow the trail of the bandits. There is going to be some combat, and I will ask Victor probably to show you the combat and to switch to another build in which we will show you the latest visuals, latest features like AI, some heart simulation of the sheep and stuff. So the build is currently running on the latest version of CryEngine, the same version that runs Rise, and has the latest technology. So we will show you the combat, and then we will show you the latest build. I will pass the control to Victor. Just for the record, the thing is that we are playing it with Xbox controller, but it's attached to a PC. the whole game is optimized for both keyboard and mouse and controllers. The everything, everything is
I'm going nowhere.
working on both versions. It's not dumbed down for
Rest
consoles. There is
assured,
no
I've
evil
dispatched
producer
them to
telling
hell.
us that we need
Where I
to
shall meet them
do it
anon.
for
Rappenhof is nearby.
Joe, regular
Our
Joe, or
captain will see
something.
today.
So the game is
we're
at
so ready.
the game
I'm
plays
done
and
for.
controls as we want it
Get
to
the
play and
Avant
control.
before they find us.
Even on I would say that
Thou knowest I
what
cannot
we
leave
did,
thee.
we kind of
Find thee here.
made
I know
the
it. I would
console
fain
version to
dispatch
be
myself, but
up
for
to the
sooth,
standard of the
if
PC.
thou
So,
wouldst
for
help
example,
me,
on consoles
'twould be
in
a
inventory,
mercy.
you can
Very
do
well.
same stuff you can
I'll
do in
dispatch
Total
thee.
Commander on PC.
How dost thou
You
wish
can
it?
search
Quickly.
inventory,
fear
you
of
can
that.
sort
Thou
items
knowest
in
me.
inventory by different
Well,
parameters.
old mate.
I'll wait for thee
You
in
can do
hell.
everything you could do on PC, and nobody did it before. Most of the time, the controls and inventories are simplified on the consoles, and in our case, it's the same, and it works the same as on PC, and it lets you do all the stuff you could do with the mouse and keyboard, and it wasn't that hard actually. So we are playing the combat with the joypad, but you can play it with the mouse and keyboard as well. It's controlled by 4 buttons and some joypads or mouse, and Victor will show it to you.
Lo, we have
sorry.
company.
Is that thy mightiest?
This version of the combat, I need to warn you a little bit. This version of the combat is older than what we showed you in our video update. So there is some clipping and some other features, but the animations are looking a little bit better than in the latest version, where we have just placeholder animations right now. So this is probably better to show this version. As I said, there is still 2 years of work ahead of us, so a lot of room for improvement. Currently, there are like only several or few moves out of up to 18 with every weapon, so it's much simpler than it's going to be in the final version. And also the techniques. We have some comments about the authenticity of the techniques the fencers use. It's also placeholder. This is done by after just a few sessions with our fencers, so we needed to find out what's possible, what's not, how it could be controlled. They didn't have a clue about how games work, so we are kind of finding the best approach. Right now we know what works, what doesn't, and the whole system is prepared. So game mechanics wise, everything is prepared. So we will fill it with content. If you want to see the latest version, check out our other videos in our channel. We had special video update about the combat. You can see the combat is based on stamina. So if the guy has armor, you cannot injure him that much by hitting him. You need to lower his stamina and then use his that he's tired or injured or not as fast to use some combo and kill him with one deadly blow. So the duels with the enemies will be much harder than usual. You can see that the sword is not is actually colliding or clashing with the enemy weapon. It's not going through like in other games. It's all based on inverse kinematics and physics, so there are proper collisions with everything. The sword slides on the armor. It doesn't go through. Right now, this guy is quite tough. It's not going to show you difficulty. Sorry, it's not showing you the difficulty of the game. He's set to be very tough, just so we can show you a lot of moves, and it's not optimized at all. So now that was the combat, and now we can switch to the other build, I guess, and show the visuals. Just for those who joined the channel a little bit later, you'll be here. Okay. For those who joined later, just another reminder. This is all just a very early, very early build of the game. The game should be released in 2015. So there is still a lot of space for improvement. A lot of stuff is not final and just placeholder. And the build you just saw is rather old. So there is a lot of stuff that is looking much better right now. We are going to show you some of it right now. We have a and it's maybe a good time to tell you something about our early access. So the backers who will, because what are you going to see is probably what you are going to get if you pledged to get an alpha access. So the backers from some amounts of the pledges are going to get either alpha or beta access to the game. Alpha will start in about 6 months from now, and it will have most likely this village you are going to see now with core game mechanics, and we will update it with the new mechanics over time. There will be regular updates. We will probably add some small quest into it. We will let you test the core mechanics and tell us what you think about them. So we will probably start with just the core mechanics, like picking up objects, walking around, running around and stuff. Then we will add some dialogue, simple quest, fencing, horse riding. And in the end, when we will reach beta stage, the people who pledged for alpha will get beta automatically. People who pledged just for beta will get beta, and beta will be almost final game with a lot of bugs, most likely. And you can still tell us what you think about it, and you can still tweak the game based on the feedback. So this is the location we are going to give you to give to the alpha pledgers. It uses the latest version of CryEngine, so it has physical based rendering. The AI routines are much better. People are actually doing something right now. It's in the previous build it was in some cases it was just a script. Right now it's really AI. There's a lot of new features like bows. The horse is probably better here as well if there is a horse. You can whistle. Is it working right now, or can you do it, or you can whistle and the horse will run to you if there is a horse. Ah, yeah, he is. So Victor can, and this horse works a little bit better than the horse in the older build. All the interiors are there. In the previous city there were not all interiors. But what is most improved is the rendering and AI and lighting, I would say. Are there any questions that most common questions? Is about trolling. There is a lot of trolls in the discussion, which is kind of sad, because I could have answered some interesting questions, but it's if there are any, they are probably lost in all the trolling. Like I'm Johnny the Spot, which is cool, but show us the bows, Victor, if it's possible, and with. If we stay in this level long enough, we will say the change of the daylight. I guess. This very nice sundown, sundown, sunset, downset, sunset, sundown. You can see it on. You can use it on the humans as well already. There's some ragdoll, but it's probably it may not work 100% right, but try it. We will see. Oh, it was nice. Somebody asks about stealth. There is going to be a stealth. It will. There's no stealth mode. It will depend on your clothes. So if you have armor on yourself, you will make a lot of noise, and if the armor is shiny, you will be also very visible. At the same time, the stealth is not about crouching, which is funny because in most games when you crouch you are invisible, which is kind of stupid because if you are in the middle of the town square crouching, you are the most visible person probably around. So it will be situation dependent, I would say. If you are in the somewhere in the night, there are not any people, and you will crouch, you will be less visible. But if you are in the middle of the crowd crouching and trying to steal, pickpocket people, it will be a warning to the people that you are probably a thief. But all will depend on your skill, visibility, and noise. So there are not any special modes to enter the stealth or something. We don't have any classes. Any character and any player can be anything he wants to. And train anything. So if you spend enough time, you can make perfect bard, warrior, thief, archer. But it probably will take a lot of time. Currently we don't have any level caps, I guess. So it may change, but we don't plan it right now. Zemdich. Somebody asked about flails and about weaponry as well. Right now we have a sword against sword. This is something that actually works, and we will add new weapons. We will start adding new weapons now. The problem with kind of obscure weapons is that they work very differently than others. So right now we are still investigating the pole weapons like halberds. They are kind of problem in interiors and against horses, and we need to find out if it's possible or achievable in Act 1 to have them. And the flails are, sadly, because it's a very cool weapon, they are not going to be in Act 1 at least, because they are also very complicated and unpredictable and very different from what we have built right now. Somebody asked, and it's scrolling away. 2 questions, and it looked like a regular question. A lot of multiplayer. A lot of people ask about multiplayer. No multiplayer. We are a small team. This is a single player game from the beginning. I like co-op games. MMO is out of the question totally. It's not. We don't have any experience with it. It's totally different genre, and it would be totally different game. I like co-op games. It's cool when you can play with your friend. I'm playing the Diablo 3 with my wife right now, so I like it. But this is much more story-based than, for example, Diablo or some other games that are good for co-op. So it would be we would have a lot of issues with the story. there are some situations that cannot be played by some quests that cannot be played by several people. I don't know, if you are in a prison or something, you can hardly be there with someone else. So this is a problem. We will definitely not have any multiplayer in Act 1, and in Act 2 and 3 as well. It's most likely that is not going to be multiplayer in the story arc that's already planned. We may add. It's a possibility that sometime in the future we will do multiplayer combat arena or something. It would be cool, but it's definitely not something we want to promise. Another very common question is about PC versus our lead programmer started a flame war on some websites when he answered about consoles. So is a lot of people, when he announced the Xbox and PS4 versions, a lot of people start to be scared that we are going to dump down the PC version or something, which is definitely not the case. We are when you develop a game, you need to set yourself some quality you want to achieve, which we did, and some hardware you want to run on, and optimize the game for this hardware. And it's not because of consoles or something. It's simply because you need to set yourself some standards you want to achieve, and you don't want to change these goals on the way, because it will multiply the length of the development and make the whole process very complicated. So the game as it is designed right now, designed right now, is going to run on the next-gen consoles, and on PCs you can have bigger resolutions, higher visibility probably if you have very powerful PC. On regular PC, the difference between the console version and the regular normal live PC is not going to be, for a normal person it's probably not going to be visible, and I would say that that's the level of quality is perfectly okay with me that we can achieve on the consoles. The consoles have a lot memory, so we can have high-res textures and everything, and people with high-end PCs will have definitely bigger resolutions. Probably they can set higher viewing distance and such stuff. So I would not say that the consoles are not the bottleneck this time. It's not as with previous generation. We are perfectly okay about how it is right now. And I would say that all gamers on any platforms should probably be okay with it as well. I don't feel any restriction so far on what we want to achieve. The biggest and most challenging feature of the game are the battles, and this is something technically very, very hard to develop. So this is something I'm scared of, and it's not a problem of the graphics. It's problem of the AI or our how smart we are, how we will be able to design it and make it work in the code. So it's related also by power of the hardware, but not as it's also about how smart we are, how we will make it. Another something interesting. So so this is probably it. I hoped you are not disappointed. If something didn't look as good as you think it should, I believe we are going to make it much better in next 2 years. I probably can't repeat it enough. This is just a very early version of the game. We still have 2 years ahead of us, so a lot of things will be improved or changed or replaced by better stuff. I hear that we just reached. We are almost at 900,000 pounds, so we are very grateful to everyone who is supporting us. We our Kickstarter ends in on Thursday, so 49 hours from now. So if you didn't pledged or backed us, you have still 49 hours to do it on Kickstarter. After the Kickstarter, we are going to launch our own store, and most of the tiers are going to be possible to buy on our own web shop for very similar prices as on Kickstarter. Some things are, especially the swords, are exclusive. We probably will let you buy the more swords over time, but the ones we are developing for the Kickstarter backers are going to be special. They will have some special inscription on them and will be probably a little bit higher quality than the swords that are going to be available later, at least for the same price. So again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for awesome support we are getting from you. We really were we are very happy, and we were very surprised how good the game was received so far, which is great. So this is it. Thank you for watching. We will keep updating new stuff even after Kickstarter. We will be you can follow our blogs. We will do video updates, but not as frequently as during the Kickstarter campaign, of course. And thank you. It's great to have all this support, and bye, good night or good day, whatever it is where you are right now.